Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live English lesson with me, teacher Zdenek, and one of my Achievers Chamber members. This time, his name is Luke, but your real name is Lukas, yeah?
Yeah, that's correct.
Or would you like me to call you Luke then?
Yeah, whatever you like it. But yeah, I prefer Lucas, Lukasz. It's up to you.
Excellent. So, another school year, another month, another week, another day, and another live English lesson. It's good to be talking to you, Lucas. It's the first time. So, are you excited?
I am more than that. I am like super excited. So yeah, I got goosebumps. So
That's a good phrase. That's a good. I wonder if there's too much light here. I'm just gonna turn this off. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. You chose the topic of martial arts today. Yeah. So we're gonna be talking about martial arts. Just to explain to everybody what this concept is about. So basically, I'm live here on YouTube, and people are watching this live as well, of course. And some people might be watching it on my LinkedIn page or Facebook. And as we talk to each other here, as I teach my students, it's, by the way, if it doesn't seem like a lesson, that's because I sometimes teach like this in a conversational way. And I think it's quite suitable here on YouTube as well. It's like we were gonna have a conversation with each other pretty much. But as we talk to each other, our viewers are welcome to post questions, to say anything, to ask us questions, or make comments. For example, Helen says hi. Hi, Helen. You know Helen, Luke, yeah?
yes, of course. I know this French lady. Yes.
All right. She says it's good to see you here.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you very much.
And then
And
we've got
thank you for
yeah,
having me on this
yeah,
show.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one of the benefits the Achievers Chamber members get. If you have silver or gold membership, then you are one of the faces of the YouTube. So, enjoy. Vault 379 says hi, and he also approves of the topic. He really likes the topic. And also Pavel, he's another Achievers Chamber member, says hi.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. It says good to see you. So right. So where do we start? I guess we should give you a chance to introduce yourself, because this is your first time on the channel. So would you like to tell us who you are, Luke?
So guys, you know my name. So my name is obviously Luke, and I come from Slovakia, and yeah, I'm a young guy still, and yeah, and today's topic is about martial arts. So, and I am a guy who do some kind of martial arts. So as my hobby, so it's my hobby, and my occupation is that I work for the government, and
You work for the
at
government. That sounds very
yeah, very
very
sophisticated, but
interesting.
yeah,
Are you
but
like a secret agent or
007. So what is it called in English? Like, Agent 007 or
yeah,
007.
zero
No.
zero? So yeah,
Yeah. So, but no, I'm not that. Yeah, no,
James
I'm not
Bond.
that guy. Yeah, I would love to be, but no, this is not my occupation. But
Okay.
it's basically it's an job center or something like that, So
Hmm.
or
Right.
unemployment office,
Yeah.
whatever you call it, right? So that's my main
Right.
occupation,
Hmm.
and my another hobby is English, obviously. So I
Okay.
basically learn English, and yeah, it's more probably more than hobby. It's like my new lifestyle, I would say.
That's
So
perfect. That's perfect. That's why we are happy to have you here. And this is the kind of people everyone, all of you watching this, should be surrounded by if you are one of the people learning English, because you have no idea how much you guys can actually learn from each other. Yeah. So of course I'm an English teacher, but you can learn from other English learners, especially those that are a little bit better than you. Yeah, there's a lot of potential for that. So I like your attitude, and but here today we are to talk about martial arts. Just to finish explaining the concept of this show, um, I will also be making notes about your language, Luke, but no pressure. I'm not going to be stopping you unless there is a big problem, like a communication breakdown, and I don't know what's going on. I will not stop you, and we will have a natural. Our conversation will have a natural flow. But then there is a section where I go through certain things regarding your pronunciation, maybe grammar, things like that, and we will work on it together later on. Yeah. By the way, Carolina, another Achievers Chamber member, says hi as well.
Hi,
Good.
hi.
Carolina from Peru.
Mhm.
Right. So where do we start? I guess we could start with this question. What's a martial art? Imagine there are people that have no idea what it is. So how would you explain it to us, Lukas?
Well, I get ready myself for this topic a little bit. So, martial art is any of various fighting sports or skills, mainly of East Asian origin, such as kung fu, judo, karate, and also box or kickbox.
Mhm.
So, or taekwondo. So, probably in the past it was more about defense, how to defend yourself, but then it became like a mm, fighting style, or fighting art. So yeah,
Mhm.
so people used to fight each other in the past in probably in Eastern Asia at first, and then it came to Europe as well. So, and of course, I have to mention Thai box is also very popular martial art uh, or sport, we would say. Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm. But there are more martial arts. You are not mentioning them all, right? There's like a
yeah. Just I just
host.
pick.
You just picked a
Yeah,
few, just to give us an example. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. It can be also jiu-jitsu, like it is very famous in Brazil.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you know what? As far as I remember, I have had one guy who taught who I spoke. Who I've had one guy on my podcast who I spoke to about this, about jujutsu. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Probably
Jujitsu.
like this. Yeah, yeah.
I think his name was Boyan. I think he was somewhere from. I'm gonna say it wrong. Might have been from Serbia or Croatia or one of the countries of the Balkans. And we spoke
Hmm.
about jujitsu, so you might even find one podcast about that. I
Okay.
like to do. I like to host shows like this because I don't know anything about martial arts, to be honest with you, Lukash. So it's a great opportunity for me to learn something as well, and I think it's a good topic. And as we can see, Volt himself has been doing taekwondo for 9 years.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah. Unless I'm misunderstanding it, Volt, are you still doing it or not? Have you stopped? Because you used I had been doing, so it sounds as if you stopped
In
or
the
something.
past.
If you
Yeah.
haven't stopped, if you still haven't stopped, if you're still doing taekwondo, if you haven't given it up, Volt, you should say I have been doing it. Yeah. And if you have quit doing taekwondo, then you could say something like I used to do taekwondo for 9 years. You could say that. Yeah. Okay, thanks for that. So I think you've explained that to us really, really well. And next question is this one. Uh, what is your favorite martial art and why?
Well, nowadays I watch and I follow mixed martial arts. So it's not only one martial art, but it's a group of martial arts. It's very famous in the world nowadays, and it means that it basically consists of stand up, like kickboxing,
Not
kickbox.
comedy, not stand-up comedy.
Not at all. But
No.
sometimes it looks like a comedy, but it's definitely not because it
If
looks like
I
a
were there, it would definitely be a comedy. Trust me.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, of course you need to be ready for this. You know, so
Mm,
you need to take steps to get there to be like a pro or to you need to take time to
mhm,
become better like in everything else, right? So
mhm.
but basically I like watching mixed martial arts events such as
Yeah.
the UFC events, for example. So,
Mhm.
and I wanted to say that it consists of more than only one martial art, and they are basically grappling, which
Yeah.
is basically jiu-jitsu and judo, box or kickbox, and what else? Thai box and these kind of martial arts.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So it's a comedy.
So
So are you talking now? Sorry, are you talking now about MMA? Are you explaining to us
yes,
what
yeah,
MMA
yeah,
is?
yeah, 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 yeah. So and of course there are like traditional sports or sports events that show us mm, kickboxing tournaments, boxing tournament or box tournaments and Thai boxer tournaments. So it's still there, it's still there. It's not only about MMA, but nowadays MMA is so well known. It's
Yeah.
so everybody talks about it nowadays. So it's very fresh topic, and
Yeah.
the topic that you can talk about many hours
Yeah.
because why? Because the promotion is really high and rich, I would say. So and this is also because of UFC as an organization that provides this kind of fights all over the world, all over the world. They are in Australia, um, in um, in Dubai, in Europe, and in the UK, and of course in America and in Brazil as well. So, and they had
Mhm.
their first event in Paris, in France. So that was huge. I was watching that event, and it was fantastic. It was really. I was like, wow, that's something, right?
Yeah. So hang on. So you yourself do MMA then?
Well, no, I'm not doing this, but I my focus is on stand up, so I do kickboxing
Okay.
as a hobby. But
Yeah.
sometimes I have sparring sessions with the guys who go to competitions.
Yeah. I see. So when you say you focus on stand up, that means you don't like to be on the floor. When grappling, it's like you holding each other. Sort of. What's the most similar martial art? Would it be like wrestling? A little bit wrestling, I guess.
Yeah, wrestling is a part of it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So wrestling, judo, it's just called grappling. So
Yeah. Basically, you
this,
hold someone. You like hold someone by their, what do you call it?
yeah,
You say shirt,
uh,
uniform. What do you call the kimono? Right, in judo.
yeah. In the traditional way, it is like kimono. Yeah, and but in modern way, they have like very special T-shirts
Yeah.
because there are a lot of mm, jiu-jitsu competitions in the
Yeah.
world, basically in Brazil, but all over the world. So it's not, but mostly in Brazil, I would say, and they are very popular in the US as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, and the work is done on the ground basically. They
Yeah.
start on stand up, but then they move themselves on the ground
Hmm. What do you mean they
on the
move?
canvas. I mean, they find themselves on the ground. So
Oh, they fight. Okay. Okay. Oh. You see, there is something we can learn. I'm gonna, because I misunderstood what you meant. They find themselves. You mean they fight each other on the ground? I will explain that later. Yeah. Oh, you mean they fight each other on the ground? Okay, that makes sense. So is it always two people, right, fighting each other? It's never more.
Uh,
Because I have
yeah,
seen. Let me stop you there. I have seen something on Polish TV or something. Or was it like a video where there were more people? Was it Polish TV or was it somewhere in Russia? I can't remember. But there were more people and more MMA fighters fighting together. This is madness.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
Uh,
that's it's nonsense. It's basically very stupid. But I said that they find themselves on the ground. Not that they fight, but they find. Maybe
oh,
I
okay,
mispronounced
okay,
verb
okay.
find. So that's what I was trying to say.
Okay,
But
okay. So
basically,
I
my English is,
no,
sometimes
your
it
English is
sucks.
don't say that. Your English is great. Yeah, that's why you are here. Yeah, your English is C1 level, which is an extremely high level, and it's what most people don't achieve. Most people learning English don't achieve. So trust me,
I
you are there.
appreciate it. Yeah,
You are
yeah. Thank you
there.
for that. Yeah.
No, it's
But
I'm
But I am still keeping. I mean I push myself, so and I'm kind of hard on myself, so
that's
I am
that's good.
not satisfied. Um, yeah, with it. So, but not at all.
Are
But
you talking about English or martial arts now?
well, about my English. So because
Okay.
there is still something that I can learn, that I can study, that I can master.
Yeah.
So that's why I push myself towards. So that's something that is still a new matter. Though you say that I'm C1 level and that my English
You
is
are,
like
yeah. You are.
really really good, and I really appreciate it because it
Yeah.
wasn't always like this. It wasn't
Mhm.
always like this.
You must
So
you must
that's
have come a long way. You must have done a lot of work on
yeah,
that, on your English.
definitely, absolutely, absolutely. You have to be focused, like probably all
Yeah.
the time. You need to find some time for learning yourself, for
Yeah.
self-studying. You know, so this is something that you have to do because if you just put your English on the back burner,
Mm.
it's just something that you know you can't approach it. Then it's something that is something not as interesting as it should be. So you need to
Sorry,
be
can you
focused.
repeat what you said? If you just put your English on the back burner, and then you
Yeah,
said you can.
you can't approach it. I mean, like
Okay.
you're not willing to study it basically, or you just think that you study it, but it's
Yeah.
on the back burner. You know what it means? Like,
Yeah, I
okay,
do. I do. I just
whatever.
didn't understand the bit after that, but we can talk about it later. Don't worry.
All right.
I see
So
what you
yeah,
meant. I see what you meant now. I see what you meant. Okay.
uh,
Yeah. My next question um, is there any similarity between learning English? Because you talk about it as if you are really a really highly motivated learner. Yeah, which is excellent. Um, exactly the type of people I as a teacher like to work with actually. But I wonder, is there actually any kind of similarity between that and martial arts? Because I imagine there could be some.
you know what? Yes, I guess yes, there is a similarity in terms of being focused, in terms of thinking about it, in terms of getting yourself in shape. And it means that when you do any kind of sports, when you do any kind of martial arts,
Yeah.
you have to push yourself, and this is something that you have to do when you learn English or languages in
Yeah.
general. So there is like connection, I would say. And also or mixed martial arts or martial arts or whatever you do, it keeps you, I guess, mentally and physically stronger.
Yeah.
And of course, it helps you to be more disciplined.
Hmm.
So this is what you can use for learning and studying English as well.
Yeah. It's like what would we call it? An attitude you learn to have strong will, the the right attitude, and those kind of
Yeah,
um,
it's
things.
it's about your attitude as well. It's like because you make yourself. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
all about you. It's all about your mindset.
absolutely.
So you have to be focused on yourself and on your goals. And it is
Hmm.
not about being motivated, but it is also about having a system. And mixed
Yeah,
martial arts also have their own system. Then you need to master if you want to be
yeah,
good at it. So
absolutely. So there's a strategy. There's like training program you have to follow. That's often. Do you think that often people misunderstand this, or people sort of um, like sometimes paint martial artists in the with the same brush, saying, "Oh, they're just fighting each other, they're just punching each other, and they're not thinking about it." But now, what you are saying has to make sense, because I think if you want to make it to the top, then you have to be a bit organized, and you have to, train hard and eat in the right way, and follow a training program. And I guess you have to tackle your weaknesses and things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of thinking involved, I imagine.
yeah, you have to tackle a lot of problems that are connected to this kind of sport. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, I absolutely agree with you. And I would say that at the end of the day, it looks like you described it. That the people, the fighters, usually fight each other. But what is behind this? What is behind this scene? What you can see in the case, for example, there is a lot of work. You know,
Mm.
you just once one cannot imagine what it looks like in the background, and these
In the what?
people are
Sorry,
real.
one
I
can't imagine.
mean, the people who don't understand this kind of sport,
Yeah.
uh, they don't have uh, they don't have an idea what's going on. So you have to be like really disciplined. You have to have a good diet. You don't have to be like lazy. It's
Mm-hmm.
and you have to work on yourself every single day. You cannot be with your family all the time. For example, if
Yeah.
you are a pro and you are preparing yourself for a match, for a fight.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, at the end of the day, they fight each other. You know,
Hmm.
but it's more than that. I would say it's more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
people who are willing to step in the cage, they know what to expect. So they know that this is gonna be tough time for them, and they will do their best. So yeah, that's obvious, but people are aware of it. Like
Yeah.
fighters are
Yeah.
aware of it. So it's not like that you meet someone on the street and you punch him. It's not
Mm.
about that. That's a really really primitive and
Yeah.
stupid way how
Of
to
thinking.
show yourself off. That's
Mm.
that people do this usually when they are drunk. So
Yeah.
because they want to be like they want to be, I don't know who they want to
Sh-
be, like
sh-
gangsters, so
Show
something like that.
masculinity. They want to like sort of
Yeah,
demonstrate that their
yeah,
masculinity and
yeah,
power. I don't know, something like that. But it's not very
yeah,
smart. They only
yeah.
show
It's not.
stupidity, in my opinion.
Yes, yeah, sure. It doesn't have anything in common with what I'm talking about.
Okay. So I think it must be easier to punch someone than it is to take a beating, right? So I think the toughest thing, like that would be for me at least. Like I guess I could learn to punch. I'm terrible at this. Yeah, I've always done sport. I love sport, but it's always been collective sports, like ball, especially with balls like tennis,
Mhm,
football, volleyball, all these sports. I've never done any martial arts, but I can imagine you can learn to punch someone, right? You just punch the box, the punching box or something. But I think the toughest thing is to learn to take a beating, right? And to also
mhm,
sort of to bounce back when somebody hits you very hard. And you, of course, like what your natural instinct could be, you cry when someone punches you hard because it hurts, right? So obviously you have to learn that toughness, that mental toughness, to overcome that, right? That must be one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you're right. You have to be like, I mean, what you're talking about is to be mental tough and physical tough, physically tough and mentally tough.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it doesn't happen overnight. You need
No.
to train a lot for being like this.
Mm.
And so it's not easy to absorb a punch because it's painful, it hurts you, but
Yeah.
this is all about your mindset. This is all about adjusting your body to get
Yeah.
through this hell, I would say.
Yeah.
So, but it is also about training. You need to train for this.
Of
Because
course.
if you get your first punch, it really hurts you. But
Yeah.
after 125 punches, you feel like, okay, yeah, well,
Keep going.
my nose is all right. So yeah, maybe I will have a black eye, but whatever. I'm
You will have
here,
what? Sorry, you will have what?
a black eye.
Black eye. Black eye.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's what you usually have if you
Yeah.
get beaten. So, but basically, there are techniques that you should use, and one of these technique, when we are speaking of stand-up sports or stand-up martial arts, is to cover yourself. So you need to
Yeah.
be covered, so you need to block punches. So this is what boxers can show us really really nicely, because they are masters
Yeah.
of how to avoid punches, how to duck yourself. And yeah,
And
it's really
dodge.
nice. It's really nice to see them in a fight mode. So it's like art. It's really an art.
I can imagine.
If you
Okay.
if you know if you know Vladimir Klitschko was probably the best boxer ever
Ukrainian,
after
right?
Ukrainian, yeah, after Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Vladimir Klitschko, and he is also um, uh, a college graduate, so he's clever enough
Ah,
as well.
yeah.
So
Smart, very smart.
is very smart, and his approach to boxing was on a different level. So he was very smart. He knew the distance between you and your opponent. That's all what you have to go through.
Yeah.
And but you have also, you're not doing this on your own. Basically, you have your team around you that
Yeah.
helps you to become better, to helps you to pinpoint your weaknesses, your weak spots. So that's about you, that people see you, or your team sees you, and then they can easily evaluate how to become better and more dangerous fighter.
Yeah. And I think it's also about respecting your opponent, isn't it? Like, I think it's possible that one of those people that throw punches in a pub, they sometimes think they are better than they are. So often they would be the ones who end up on the floor. So isn't it also about having respect for your opponent, and sort of assessing. Maybe you know your opponent because you have studied them before. If there are some footages of how
Yeah,
this guy fights, but is it possible? Like sometimes you may not know. So what you have to do, you have to sort of evaluate or assess the situation, and then process it, and then make the right calls based on that.
yeah. Mhm. Well, being respectful is a very nice matter, but nowadays I have to say that there is a lot of trash talk. trash talk is something that promotes fights.
Yeah.
So basically, it's not happening nowadays.
Mhm.
We can see a lot of trash talk between fighters before they're gonna fight each other. So
Yeah.
and it's all about the money.
So
Basically,
how do you feel about that? So do you think this is wrong? Do you think it should be gone from the sport or not?
well, I think it's something that it will stay because, as I said, it promotes fights, you know, and it's all about money.
Mhm.
So the more you promote yourself, uh,
I mean, as a
the
sport, as an association, MMA association, let's say. You mean like you need to get more publicity, more. Um,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
you will become we will become more famous because of that.
Mhm.
The very good example is Conor McGregor. His trash talk was insane. I mean, I would say in a positive way, but it's a trash talk, right? But he has a really or he had a really good trash talk back then,
Mhm.
and it
So
was he
hang on. So
was
he's a Scottish MMA fighter. Yeah. He's
it's an
Scottish.
Irish, it's an
Sorry,
Irish,
Irish. My bad. My bad. Yeah.
yeah, from
He's the
Dublin,
guy who's got like beard, like beard.
ginger
Yeah.
beard,
Ginger
yeah,
beard. Yeah. So he's very, very. Let's say, um, you can't mistake him for anyone else. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's unique, and yeah. So he promoted the UFC and or he helped with promotion of UFC,
Yeah.
and with his era everything became uh, to be more rough or
Mhm.
rougher or tougher
Yep.
in terms of the fighters started trash talking each other,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But of course it should have it should have some boundaries. You
Mhm.
shouldn't tell anything uh, about. I mean, you shouldn't talk anything bad about your opponent's family, for example.
Yeah.
You know, so it should be only trash talk between two of these guys
Yeah.
and nothing else. But sometimes it's even worse. But when you ask me, I don't think that that trash talk is something or that it is a good way how to promote fights. Not for me at least,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah, people are interested in it, so that why it is still happening.
Yeah.
And basically in MMA in general, right?
Mhm.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
mm, But for me, it's not necessary,
Mhm.
you know.
I'm trying to think of like how else we could, if we were you've been using the word trash talk. Like I understand what it is, but I'm trying to see if there is a synonym as well so that we could explain it a little bit. Um,
For like throwing mud at someone, bad mouthing someone.
badmouth someone
Yeah.
to, yeah,
hmm
to provoke, almost like
Provoke.
provocation,
It's a
provoke someone.
provocation, of
Yeah.
course. It's about getting in
In their head. You want to get
yeah,
in their
yeah,
head. Yeah.
precisely.
Yeah. But it is something people would do as well before fighting in general. Like if two guys met in the street for whatever reason, maybe they're drunk. So often that's how it would start, right? Because it escalates. A conflict escalates, right? The throwing punches is the last thing that happens, I think. Before that, people would insult each other. And I think part of this trash talking, as you said, is insulting each other, offending each other. I'm not a big fan of this. I'll be honest with you, Luke. Now, I understand where you're coming from. This it's part of the culture of the sport, and it's about promotion. It's about the marketing. But personally, I respect the sport. I respect people that do it, but I don't like this whole culture about it. But that's just my point of view. Yeah, maybe you could say that I am woke or something. But I just don't know. I'm not sure that's what the society needs. But at the same time, if this is how they vent their anger, and perhaps I'm pretty sure this helps a lot of people because at least it's done um, uh, in an organized way. There are rules, right? There are rules. uh you you don't want to injure, you want to beat them, right? You don't want to injure your opponent. You're not there to break their hand, you're there to beat them, right? That's the idea. You beat them. It's a sport, it's a sport, it's competition, right? You know what I
Well, it
mean?
depends. I know what you mean, but it depends on fighter. It
Mm.
depends on fighter in general because they are like crazy fighters. They want to hurt you.
But that's what I don't like. Yeah, this is, you will
Yeah,
not tell it to me yeah.
that's what I don't like either. I don't like that sport attitude, that
Yeah,
sports soul. You know that I don't want to I don't want to consider them as fighters, but as athletes,
yeah, yeah,
as sportsmen.
exactly,
You
exactly.
know,
Like
and
if I
many
see something like wrestling or judo in the Olympics, in the Olympic games, I'm
yeah,
watching it on TV, I can see like how much they respect each other, and despite them fight like really like fighting hard, they're still, and the same with box, they still sort of high five each other or hug each other after the fight, and I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I
This
like
is
that.
happen. This is
Yeah,
happening also in mixed martial arts events. So yeah, yeah, yeah. They respect each other before a fight, and they respect each other after the fight, and
yeah,
they shake their hands. They
yeah,
claps themselves and on each other shoulders, and they
yeah,
just appreciate each other. So yeah,
yeah.
this is happening. Yeah.
That's good. Like I'm okay with that. But when it goes too far, that's not something I respect. But it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
one person's opinion.
Maybe two, because I
Okay,
agree
well,
with you. I agree
that's
with
enough.
you
We'll
with
create a
this.
group. We'll create a group. Let's fight clean. Let's fight clean. But I'm not gonna be fighting. You're gonna be fighting. I'm just gonna be watching. Yeah. I'm not really into. Listen, I would love to be able to do that, but I just don't enjoy it. That's the problem. Yeah. So I'm not gonna do something I don't enjoy. But I really I have to admit it must be really really cool and useful to be able to defend yourself, and yeah, cool and useful, I would say. Cool, useful, both. But I'm just not there. My weapon, is my are my words, I guess. My diplomatic approach, or yeah, I don't. If I am in a conflict, I will like try to sort of calm the situation down rather than like escalate. I don't want to escalate it. I will
Yeah,
stand up
yeah,
for myself, right? I'm gonna stand up for myself. If something happens, I'm not gonna like let people walk over me. No. However, if someone is just starts to insult me, and I can clearly see this person is like mentally deranged, I'm just gonna walk away. Like it's not worth it for me. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Definitely, I am with you in this. I have a similar approach or
Yeah,
similar attitude. I try to avoid these kind of situations,
yeah.
in my life. So,
But
and
for you, Lukash, you avoid it because you know you could hurt that person and that you could be in trouble. You could go to prison. I avoid it because I know I could get hurt. That's the difference.
it's not about that, right? I am a nice person. I am not a provocative one. I usually um, mm,
Yeah,
try not to provoke anybody. So that's not
yeah,
my style. So
yeah,
but yeah, you
yeah,
could be right. You could be right if you know any martial art. It could pan out not in your favor after all.
yeah,
So you have to be really careful what you're gonna do if you are skilled enough to hurt somebody.
yeah.
So that's something that you need to have always in your mind.
You know what? I've even seen a YouTube video uh, of a guy giving an interview. Someone who has killed someone, he just landed one punch, and they
Hmm.
killed someone with that, and how it
Hmm.
ruined this person's life. Just one punch at the
Yeah,
discotheque, and
that's
he killed a person with that. and then his life is completely ruined.
That's a great example. That's a great
Yeah,
example. So if you want to start doing any kind of martial art, you need to have this always in your mind,
yeah,
because it's not good if you start doing this that you want to hurt someone.
yeah.
You know, it shouldn't be about it. For me personally speaking, it's about being in a good
Shape.
mental and, yeah, and a physical shape, and I take it as a hobby for me,
Mm,
nothing
yeah,
else, you know.
yeah. I
And
understand.
it's probably the toughest sport I have ever done, but I think it's worthy. So yeah, so far I keep, but it doesn't matter that I keep it, but it doesn't matter that oh no, it doesn't mean that I will not stop doing this in the future.
Yeah,
Maybe if
yeah,
I pass 40, I will decide, okay, that's enough. I'm gonna do something else, because this is not like my main activity, I would say, because I also go to the gym to work out, with what is it called in English? Uh, with weights and
lift weights. Yeah,
lift weights. Yes, I
yeah,
usually go and lift weights in the gym,
yeah. Or
and I
workout.
also,
Yeah.
yeah, I also go running. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to be
an all-round sportsman. All
yeah,
round would be a word. Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it colorful, I would say. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
Yeah, varied. You want to? Yeah,
varied, yeah. I
yeah,
like
yeah.
being in various kind of sports.
Hmm. Okay, fantastic. There's one last question. It's going to be a little bit longer than I expected, but we started kind of late, so it doesn't matter. But I want to
Hmm.
ask you one more question, and it's very important for me at least. I really want to know what your opinion is on this. How do you feel about women that fight?
Uh, I'm gonna put it in this way. I got used to it. I couldn't imagine that some time ago, like
Okay.
I don't know, 8 years ago. But then I started to accept this,
Okay.
and it is because I see women as an equal gender.
Yeah.
So if they want to fight, I'm sorry, if they want to fight each other,
Mm,
so okay, their choice, it's their call. They need to be ready,
mm,
and they
yeah.
need to get themselves in shape as well,
Mm,
and they should
yeah.
know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I know female fighters also in my environment. So,
Yeah.
and they are nice girls,
They're
and
nice, nice. But I don't want to meet them in the middle of the night. I'll tell you that. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
they are great fighters. But also, on the other hand, they are nice persons.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah.
And
Okay.
you
Fair
you
enough.
have and the last sentence probably, you have Lucia Pudilova, who
Okay.
is the first female uh, fighter in
Yeah.
the UFC from the Czech Republic.
Mm.
So yeah.
I've heard her name. Yeah, I've heard her name. But I don't watch MMA. But it's just impossible to just avoid it completely because you're just browsing on the internet and it pops up. If you are like me, like interested in sports, at some point it's gonna pop up and you can't. You always see it, right? It has become very popular. I have to say. Okay, thank you very much, Lukáš, for this. So we also have Rao. Um, not no idea what Rao. I think he was trying to say hello. I think. And then
Hello.
Volt said he gave it up because he broke his arm and then
Mhm.
failed failed to get a black belt. Right, right.
Mhm.
So he is a Taekwondo fighter. Oh, he used to do
Mhm.
Taekwondo. Volt.
Mhm.
Um, I see. I see. So he didn't have the motivation to continue. So he quit. Yeah, but he
Hmm.
used to do it for a long time.
Hmm.
Okay, thanks for sharing that with us, Walt. I hope you like the topic. That's not always gonna happen, but I agree with you that what do I agree with? I don't know what I even wanted to say. Um,
That we are nice persons. That we and
right.
we don't want to fight anybody.
Mm.
Let's put it in this way.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine fighting to defend myself or someone I love, but that's as far as I would take it. If someone starts offending me or starts offending someone I love, that's not good enough reason for me to fight them. It's just
Yeah.
not. Just I don't know what I would do because I've never got into that situation. So I don't know. Like if it's someone who is drunk, and I know they're
Hmm.
just drunk or stupid or just I don't know, trying to show off their masculinity for no reason, then and they are not, and I can see like they if I just walk away, they're not gonna chase me, right? I don't see a reason why to fight them. Anyway, it's time for us to have a look at some feedback, Lukash. I have to say there is not much to correct. Uh, your
Okay.
English, your English is excellent. So, can you see this? Are you able to see? I'm sharing my screen
Uh,
with you, yeah, with everyone.
okay, it's very small, but I
I
will
think
do my best.
this is better, yeah, because you're using your phone. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, yeah.
All right.
So I really like this phrase that you use at the beginning of our. By the way, I have got this color coding just to explain it to you, yeah.
Okay.
Um, if there's something wrong with the sentence, usually a grammatical mistake, I would make the sentence red, and I would try to
Hmm.
encourage my student to work this out. I use this in my private lessons as well with my
Hmm.
one-to-one students, and I use it in this YouTube live. If there is some useful vocabulary that we learn from you or something that comes up, I make it blue. And if there is a pronunciation issue, something we want to fix, it's purple. Yeah, so it's not very, it's not too complicated, right? So you said I
Okay.
have goosebumps. So I want to ask you about this. So that's a very nice idiom. Would you like to explain to us what it means?
It means that you have the chills.
Yeah,
You know those little spots and hairs. They will stick.
stand
You
like
know,
stand. Your heart
stand. You
stand.
know. So and it happens when you are pretty excited about something, or you
Exactly.
can you
Exactly.
can you can be cold.
Yeah. So I think it's normally used as a metaphor, as an idiom when you're
Hmm.
when you hear a song that sort of triggers some emotions in you, or I don't know.
Yes.
It often happens to me, like when I watch, for example, like successes of Czech sportsmen, because I like. I'm not very patriotic, Lukáš, but when it comes to sport, I like to watch the like Czech teams succeed, and that sometimes gives me goosebumps. Like I'm sure you like ice hockey yourself as a Slovak man, and
Yes.
watching your team lift the trophy in the World Cup. Our countries are not the biggest countries in Europe, right? Relatively small, so it's really an amazing feeling. So that's when I would use this phrase to that I would say that I have goosebumps. It
Yeah.
could be it could be spelled together as well, apparently. So I've checked it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right. And then he said, I'm a guy who do some kind of martial arts. So how could you make that sentence better, Lukash?
Who does? Who
Yeah.
does?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just a slip because I know you know this. Um,
Yeah.
at C1 level, often what happens is that we just slip. Sometimes we slip. Yeah. So this is not something you don't know, but good that you showed me that you know this. How do you pronounce this word?
Asian, Asian.
Uh,
I
yeah,
would say.
There's the
Je, right?
sound. Yeah,
Yeah.
je.
I pronounce. Yeah, I mispronounced it. Yeah, I said
Yeah,
Asian. So that was
exactly.
Not
So it should
correct.
be
Yeah.
Asian. Asian. So do you
Asian.
know any more words that have this j sound? There are not so many words
Um,
actually. You would be surprised. There are not that many. It's not the most common sound in English actually.
okay. Go ahead if you know.
Well, television, for example.
All right. Yeah. Television.
Television and vision.
Vision,
Yeah.
obviously.
I don't know why "Je ne parle pas français" comes to mind.
But you know it's
That's not
French, right?
that's not English. I think DJ. No, that's "je." That's "je."
That's
No.
good.
You
Yeah.
see, there are not that many words with this sound.
Rouge, rouge. There is je, right?
Yeah.
Rouge.
How do you spell it?
ROGH, I guess.
I have no I've heard this
Not
word
sure.
before, but what does it mean? What does it mean, Luca? Rouge. Must be
Uh, okay, well,
I've heard this before. Do you mean Raf? You don't mean Raf.
no, 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 no.
Rouge.
Rouge.
I've heard this word before, but I'm not sure what it means, I'm afraid. Rouge.
Mm,
Is it
it
R-O?
rings.
Is it
Like
R-O-U-G-E? Yeah, it is. I found
Moulin
it. I
Rouge.
found it. I found it. I found it.
Okay,
So,
okay.
rouge is a red powder or cream used as a cosmetic for coloring the cheek or lips. Yeah, yeah. You know how some people they have like pale cheeks.
Face. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you would put some rouge maybe during the makeup process, and sometimes you can use it to describe wine as well. You're sort of saying that it's kind of red, but the spelling is with O like this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have got this word. So how would you pronounce this word?
Like a pro.
Yeah. So what's this sound again? Is it the last sound?
Pro. Pro.
Pro. Pro. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said
I,
pro, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think so
Yeah.
because
Yeah. So do I.
pro. Pro. Yeah. We say
Yeah.
professional, but we say pro. Pro is short for professional. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
it is.
Okay. Then you said it's a very fresh topic. So that's okay. But I was wondering if you know some synonyms for this. If something is a fresh topic, if something is talked about a lot, and what are some
Mm-hmm.
other expressions?
Hot topic.
I would use the word hot, yeah, actually. Hot. Hot is a good one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I don't know. It's maybe trendy.
Trendy. Mm-hmm.
What else? Up to date is not exactly what I want here. I guess something is in. Be in. I guess you could say that. It's very in, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
other expressions you could use, obviously. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How do you pronounce this word, Lukash?
Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Europe.
Where's the
Europe. Mhm.
Okay, good. Where's the stress?
At the beginning of the
Yes.
word.
Europe. Yeah.
Europe.
Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one?
Mhm. Brazil.
Where's the stress? You have two
And
syllables. So which one is stress? The first one or the second one?
the second one, I would say.
Yeah. So try to say it again.
Brazil.
Much better.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil. So you
Mm-hmm.
stress the second syllable. You just need to remember. Some countries are like that. Like trying to think of some more countries off the top of my head. And I can't think of anything. Well, I know like nationalities like Chinese, right? Chinese, for example.
Chinese, Japanese.
Yeah, but that's the nationality. But when it comes to the country itself, mm,
Mm-hmm.
well, USA, but that's because it's an acronym or it's an abbreviation. USA. You also the final A is stressed, but that's a bit
Mm-hmm.
different, right? So Argentina. No, that's Argentina. No, that's not the last one. I can't think of any more examples, but I'm sure there are more countries like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about Vietnam? Yeah, Vietnam, right?
Vietnam.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think so. I think
Is on the
Vietnam has
is it on the
Vietnam.
second syllable? Is it
I
on the
think
second
so.
syllable?
I would say so. Vietnam.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm gonna check quickly, yeah, just to be sure. That's what I do here as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's what good English teachers do. Don't you think that we know everything? No, we don't. We always check. Vietnam is stressed on the second syllable. Yeah, Vietnam.
Makes sense.
Vietnam. Very good. Um, so just can you just pronounce this sentence for me?
They find they find themselves on the ground.
They find themselves on the ground. So sometimes in English, when you have two sounds which are hard to pronounce together, like if you want to like link it,
Hmm.
what happens is that one of them sort of like disappears. So they find they find themselves. They find themselves. They find themselves. I think
All
this
right.
sound may disappear when you're saying it, and then you just say themselves because the is very similar to the, and that's difficult to say, right? So they find themselves. They find themselves. So it's like
Find
and then
themselves.
themselves, and you don't have to say the at all.
Yeah. It's a
They
connection
find
speech, right?
themselves. Sorry?
It's a connection speech, I
It's
would say.
connected speech. Connected
Or
speech.
I'm sorry, connected speech. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. I like this phrase to put something on the back burner. Can you tell us what it means? It's a good idiom that you've used.
It basically means that you don't care about it much.
I think
You don't pay attention to it much.
I'm gonna check, but I think if you put something on the back burner, you sort of put it off.
Not
You decide it's not important now, and you
Yeah,
hoping
yeah,
to do it later.
exactly. Yeah.
You
But
do it later. You might think of doing it later. You are like temporarily you decide not to deal with it now, but you want to deal with it later. But
yeah.
in this context, it means what you said. Yeah.
It-
If you just put your English on the back burner, if you are like, I'm gonna learn it later, right? You
Yep.
can't approach it. I'm not sure if this verb is yeah.
Yeah, it was like a I don't know.
So
Yeah.
how could you replace this? What would you replace this verb with so that
Uh,
it's more like so that it's clearer?
you can get to it, I would say. Or you don't want to get to it, or you don't
Maybe
want to deal
maybe I
with
just
it.
don't
That was what I was trying to say,
may,
but yeah.
maybe I just don't understand the point. Yeah, maybe that's the problem because you might be saying it correctly. I just don't understand your point there.
Me neither, I guess.
That's okay. We can just move on. How do you pronounce this?
Being focused, being
Mhm.
focused. Okay.
Okay. And
There's
try the second one.
focused.
Try the second one. Try the whole phrase.
Well, I'm not sure right now. It's focused or focused
It's
or
focused.
focused or
Fo.
neither of them. Okay.
Yeah, it's focused. So it's about like
Focus.
so you need to
Hmm.
focus on the first sound, yeah, on the first syllable. That's where the problem is. Yeah. So
Hmm.
focused is
Focused.
mhm,
Focused. Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
like
All right.
the word foe. Foe is like another word for enemy, actually. Yeah. You
Yes.
know,
Hmm.
yeah. So it's a little bit like that. Focus is like
Foe.
toenails. Yeah, for example, toenails. Oh,
Hmm.
phone is even like phone is the same. Phone, focus. You could just remember you could just remember a silly phrase. Focus your phone. Focus your phone. And just have this in
Hmm.
your head as like some kind of a mnemonic. You have to focus your phone if you want to have a good image. Just remember
Hmm.
something like something strange like that. And then basically you need the diphthong, yeah. The diphthong is if you give me a second, I'm going to give you the symbols for that. where are we? Over here. Okay, so I need this symbol and this symbol. These are the two symbols that you have at the this is the first syllable. Fo, focused. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The
All
stress
right.
is on the first letter, basically.
Fo,
Focused.
fo,
Focus.
focused. Mm-hmm.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm hmm
All right.
Because
Very good.
we know this we have this word in Czech and also in Slovak. So when you have something that you usually say in your native language, so it's for you harder
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
pronounce them correctly in a target language.
Yeah. I think this might be called interference. It has a
hmm
technical term for this issue. For this kind of
hmm
issue, it's called interference. L1 interference. L1 stands
hmm
for language one. Interference. If anybody is interested in a technical term, yeah,
hmm
I think it's pretty common for all English learners. All right, and every different nationality struggles with a different thing as well. You have to tackle a lot of what's the issue here.
You have to tackle a lot of problems that are
Very good.
connected. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
hmm
just a slip for sure. You and then you said you were sort of naming things that you have to be, or you like the ideal sort of
Uh, yeah, I wanted to say
yeah
you can't be lazy.
yeah.
That's
So
what I
yeah, I
was.
think you
Mhm.
I think you wanted to say the opposite of you have to be lazy. What is the opposite of you have to be lazy? What is the opposite of that?
Oh,
Have So we have got so I'm okay. Maybe I'm not asking in the most clear way. So basically, we have three modal verbs. Yeah, to have to do something, which is like the obligation. Yeah,
yep.
obligation. It's like must. You must do something. So have to. Have to. It's like must. Then you don't have to do that, right? Don't have to. It's like a
hmm
lack of obligation. It's a lack of obligation. And then there is one where you are not allowed to do it. And I think that's the one you wanted to use, right? You are not allowed to be lazy.
Right.
So how would you say that? If you are not allowed to do something, you
You mustn't. All right. Yeah, that makes
mustn't be
sense. You
lazy. Yeah.
mustn't.
Mustn't,
Yes.
not mustn't, but mustn't. Mustn't.
Okay. Mustn't. Okay.
You mustn't be lazy. Yes. All right. How do you pronounce these two words? It's like one compound noun. Maybe I'll have
A black eye.
a black eye. Yeah, a
hmm
black eye. I'm not sure like where the stress is if you say it. Isn't it on the first syllable? A black eye. Black eye. What do you
Black
think?
eye. Black eye.
Yeah, you're
Black
right.
eye.
You're right. You're right. The stress is on eye. You mustn't have a black eye. Yeah, very
hmm
good.
hmm
Because with these sort of like expressions and compounds, sometimes it's on the first syllable, but not here. How do you
Okay.
pronounce this word?
Techniques.
Okay, very good. So the stress is on neeks. hmm
Yes.
You need, and what about this? So you were talking about like how you have to fight, and you said you need to be. How do you pronounce this?
You need to be covered.
Covered. The covered. Yeah.
Yes.
hmm
Covered. Covered.
Covered, and then this. Uh, sorry, this is not how I wanted to spell it. This word. You need to be covered, and you mustn't be a
Covered. Covered. I would
coward.
say. Covered.
Coward.
Yeah.
Coward. Cow.
Mhm.
Cow.
Covered. Covered. Covered.
Cow. No, say cow, like the animal
Cow.
cow,
Cow. Covered.
and then
Covered.
cow, and then a coward.
Coward.
Coward. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Cover.
it's a combination of three vowel sounds. Well, it's like a trift.
Cover.
It's called a triphthong.
Mm-hmm.
Coward, and it's the same as
Ca-
when you say tower, tower, huh?
okay.
Coward, tower.
Tower. Tower. I
Uh-huh.
say tower, but in the British English, you don't use R at the end of
Yeah,
words.
correct.
So
That's correct. Coward. It's the same with coward. There's no R
cover.
sound.
Mm-hmm.
Coward. How do you pronounce this word?
Okay. Evaluate.
Evaluate. Evaluate.
Okay.
Make sure
Evaluate.
to stress is on the second. So I'm always checking this, by the way, just to be sure. Evaluate. Yeah. Evaluate.
Yeah,
Evaluate.
my bad. Mm-hmm.
It is
Evaluate.
correct. Okay. So we are almost done. Nowadays, what's wrong with this one?
All right. Yeah. Nowadays there is a lot of trash talk.
Very good, because trash talk is an uncountable noun.
Yes, it is.
Google suggests that maybe it should be spelled separately. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
possible to spell it in two different ways, but small
Mm-hmm.
talk is also, how is small talk? It's going to be very similar. Let's see.
Small talk is in two words, I would say.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's possible that you have two options. Let's see. Okay, using not using the right dictionary here. Small talk. Yeah, yeah. Okay. It seems like it's more common spelled separately. So yes, you are right.
Yes.
Same with trash talk. So let's spell it separately here. All right.
Okay.
I don't think it is a good way.
Okay. I know where the mistake is.
Yeah.
Uh, I need to leave how out.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. This is a
I
common
know
mistake
these.
of.
I
Yeah.
know these grammar rules, but when I start speaking,
Yeah.
I make them. So this is sometimes really silly.
So don't worry about it. This is a common mistake for Czech learners as well. I used to say it too, like when I was younger. Uh, You cannot use way how like
I know
this.
that. Yeah.
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 It's
Sure.
basically the reason for it is because this last part, it's a relative clause, and this
Mm-hmm.
relative clause basically it post modifies the word way. Way is like the head of this relative clause, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
typical relative clause which starts with an infinitive. For example,
Yes.
he's the person. He is not the right person to trust. Yeah, this is the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, similar thing. Yeah.
This is
Anyway.
a good way to do this. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I like this phrasal verb here. It could pan out not in your favor after all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it doesn't matter that it's a bit awkward. The word order here is a little bit awkward because we were talking, and it's possible for people to sometimes say to sort of bend the rules of the word order. So let's not worry about that. But I really like the phrasal verb to pan out. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean by this here?
Plan out to work out.
To
It means
to
that something will get your way. I would say, or,
uh
or not necessarily, but it means to plan out to work out that something
It's
will
kind of
happen.
similar to workout, also play out.
Play
It
out,
it
work
means, I
out.
think, that something will develop in a certain way.
Yes.
Yeah. For
Mm-hmm.
example, I don't know what's going to happen. Now we have an energy crisis, right? We have an energy crisis, and we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to pan out, right? We don't know
Mm-hmm.
how it's going to develop the situation, right? So to pan out is like sort of play out how it's going to, which direction it's going to take, right? Okay. How do you pronounce this phrase?
I think it's worth it.
Right. So here it's really important that you link this. Here we need connected speech, because if you don't do it, it's going to sound weird. Yeah. So how do you connect these two words? Worth it, so that it sounds natural. I'm gonna
Worth it?
underline it.
Worth
Sorry?
it? Worth it?
Worth. Okay, say worth it. I think it's
Worth
worth
it.
it. Worth it.
Yeah.
So the way you do it, you sort of were you divide it into were and then you say fit. Worth it. Yeah. Try it.
Worth it.
Yeah. And then I say worth it.
Worth it.
That's
Worth
it.
it.
I think it's worth it. Yeah. Because honestly, if you first time I heard you say that, I didn't know what you were saying because it's worth it.
Uh,
It sounds really
it-
weird for English speakers because nobody because
yeah.
it's a phrase, right? So yeah.
But I think that I said worthy.
Aha. Aha.
Worthy.
Aha. 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 Okay. So how do you pronounce that one then?
Worthy.
But
Worthy.
the
Yes.
thing is, but did you say it's worthy? Because I think usually
It's worthy. Yeah, I said it's worthy.
mm,
But you know what? It doesn't matter because yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
I
Don't
don't
worry
think.
about it much. But I'm pretty sure that I said worthy. It's not worthy. Okay, but
Okay, no,
you
no, no.
know
I've got it.
this.
I've got it. I've got it now. I understand what happened here. So it's interesting that this one is the sound and this one is worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there is a difference. Yes,
there's a
yes.
difference. Yeah,
There
difference. Yeah,
is the sound, and in the
the
second
sound, the sound. Yeah,
there is the yes. Yeah.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Okay, and then we were talking about like going to the gym. If you go to the gym, what do you do in the gym? What's the most common activity there? And
Yeah, you
so it's
yes, yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's called weightlifting, right? And then you can say you weight lift. Sorry, you lift weight.
Yes,
You
yes.
could weigh you could weight as well, something, I guess. You could weight yourself, but
Yeah.
lift weights, you can work out or you do bodybuilding, right? You bodybuild, I guess you could say as well.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm not sure if you say pass in this way. Do you say pass when talking about age?
Well, I should have said turn,
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm not sure about this 100%, but I'm sure about turn. Yeah. Maybe if
I'm
I
pretty sure about turn, but I'm not sure about pass now as well.
okay, I'm not sure about pass. It could be right, but I think it's more common to say turn. Anyway, I also want
Hmm.
to ask you about this. Did you say if or did you say when?
I said if, I guess,
Okay.
but I'm
And
not sure right now.
yeah, but if sounds as if you are not sure if you survive that. If you survive that long, you know.
Yeah, you don't know. You
Yeah.
you never know. So
I know, but I guess it would be more
yeah, if
appropriate
it's
here
a
to yeah.
if it's a plan, so it could be more suitable to use when
I
instead of
personally, I
if.
think it's more natural to say when here because if I pass, it sounds it's if
Mhm.
it's as a joke, then it's fine. But yeah. And then also, I was using this adjective all round. Yeah, so you can be an all round sportsman or an all round footballer. I
Mhm.
think I think it
Mhm.
means like you have like all sorts of different qualities and something like that. Having a great many abilities uses versatile is like a good
Mhm.
synonym for that. And that's about it. We made it a little bit longer, Lukash, because I think there were a lot of things to a lot of things to discuss. Normally, this lesson is much shorter, but I was having fun. I hope you are okay as well.
A bit tired to be honest, but it was fun.
You are a body. Come on, you are a fighter. So this is nothing for you. You are mentally strong and all that. So
Thank you.
yeah. All right. It seems like Pavel really enjoyed this, so that's great to hear. Thank you very much, Pavel, for this
Thank
comment.
you.
And by the way, I would like to encourage all of you watching this to leave comments. If you don't want to leave comments during the show, please leave comments after the show. Tell me what you thought. Did you enjoy this? Would you like Luke to be back here at some point? Let us know. Are you gonna take up a martial art after watching this conversation? Have you changed your opinion on martial artists after watching this conversation? let us know. Let us know in the comments. And also, please give this video a like because it does help out the channel. And that's all the promotion done. This lesson is now over. Thank you very much, Luke, for
Thank you very much.
being part of it. And I'll see you soon in the Achievers Chamber.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. Thank you very much, and have a good night or have a good day.
You too.
And
You too. Take care. Yeah.
see you later. Bye bye.
Bye. And thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.